We're finally talking about the last of 3 commitments in one day, rounding out December 18th. We are talking this time about a brand new defensive lineman commit, another flip. Let's talk about who that is and what it means for Auburn football. But before we do that, we always want to remind you to smash the like button if you enjoy this type of content. Be sure to leave a comment down below as you're watching or listening today to help enter you into our ongoing subscriber giveaway. Check out the link in the description for more details about that. And lastly, always want to thank members of our booster club like Thomas Manville, who help produce videos like this. Again, I say December 18th of 2022 is one of the more fun recruiting days we've had to talk about for Auburn football in quite some time. And this was the third of those great things that come out of that, and maybe even more to come. But we're talking about the 16th overall commitment for Auburn, a defensive lineman in Steven Johnson, flipping from the Arkansas Razorbacks and finally committing to the Auburn Tigers. This is actually the 5th flip for Hugh Freeze since he arrived and took over this recruiting cycle, which is quite impressive, especially when you do it over an SEC West opponent like the Arkansas Razorbacks. And why wouldn't you after such a fun and productive weekend where you saw commitments that you can go check out in other videos where we've talked about those particular guys, but who knows what other inroads were made with other prospects. Now, it's been a long process for Auburn to not only start and build this relationship, but finally get the flip, because he committed to the Arkansas Razorbacks back on June 26th. So it took all summer, all fall, and a new head coach, and we finally made it happen. Now, in terms of measurables, he's considered about 6'4" to 6'5", 310 to 320 pounds. And while I call him a defensive lineman, most people that you talk to are planning on this guy being a defensive tackle, but we'll just see what happens when he gets on a college campus. Lastly, I have some stats to share with you, not from his senior year, but from his junior year, that may demonstrate to you, even though he probably will be a defensive tackle, how versatile he could be and how athletic of a guy he is across the defensive line. 65 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 sack, 1 interception, and 1 block kick. That's pretty impressive for a guy of his size. Now that we've gotten to know the player, let's talk about what it means for him, but also for Auburn football. And we always start about what it means for the current class, the 2023 class. Overall, this is the 16th commitment total, counting in that transfer as part of this process. It is the 8th on defense, the 4th defensive lineman, and technically the 1st defensive tackle, nose tackle, however you want to label him. We always like to talk about what their opportunities might be, maybe even early when they arrive to be part of the team. Always want to stress, make sure that you plan on them redshirting or seeing limited time, but you never know what might happen. But to answer that question, let's look at the depth chart. Currently 2 anchors at that position as things stand right now: Jason Jones, Marcus Harris, and then you've even got guys like Jeffrey Imba and others who are going to be fighting for that playing time. So can he crack the depth chart? Only time will tell. It's going to be tough, though, with guys like that anchoring the position. You know, I like to talk about regional stuff and where our particular prospects are coming from, especially when we win a battleground state. This one being the state of Georgia, the other 2 important ones being Alabama and Florida. It's really nice to see us rebuilding that pipeline back up for this class after losing it from some decommitments. And lastly, we're going to look at what this commitment might mean for the rest of the defensive lineman class for us for 2023. Right now, we've got at the edge position, Brenton Williams. At the defensive end position, we've got Wilkie Denard and also Darren Reed. And now you throw in Steven Johnson in the mix at defensive tackle. To me, that seems to think you might at least get 1 more nose tackle, defensive tackle type of position, maybe another edge, maybe another defensive end. We'll see how it shakes out. I don't think we're done, but we're starting to fill up. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on your 16th overall commitment for the Tigers in 2023. Steven Johnson, would love to know your thoughts about him down in the comments section below. Be sure to do that so you enter into that ongoing subscriber giveaway, and be subscribed because that's part of the process too. Always check those links out in the description for ways you can help support our content here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. War Eagle.